All right, welcome to another video. So today I'm working on this 2014 Honda CRV, working on another maintenance item on the vehicle. So the vehicle is just at about 100,000 miles. It's time to go over and do some routine maintenance, spark plugs, fluid flushes and fills, etc. So what I'm working on today is the PCV valve. All right, so on pretty much all of the second, for sure, third, fourth generation CRVs, the PCV valve is located in the same place, but unlike on the second generation CRV where you basically have to take the whole front end off or loosen it to get to it, on our fourth gen it's actually pretty easy to get to. So if you look down on the front of the engine here, you'll see this hose right here. It's running right to the front of the engine. This hose connects right to the PCV valve, which is screwed into the block. And it's a little bit different design than you'd see on a traditional American V8 engine, but it does the same function. So symptoms of a bad PCV valve could be excessive oil consumption, rough idling, smoke coming from the exhaust. Those are more symptoms of a stuck open PCV valve where it's just burning oil. If you have one that's stuck closed, symptoms are not always as consistent. There may be a kind of weird hissing sound coming from the engine. Luckily in our case we have none of those issues. This is preventative maintenance. If we wait too long and our PCV valve clogs, what can happen is pressure from combustion process builds up. That's why it's called a positive crankcase valve. So what happens is pressure builds up inside of the engine and it can start to blow out seals. So your rear main seal, which is a very expensive job, which involves removing the transmission from the engine to replace it, can fail and you can have major oil leaks. So just a little bit of preventative maintenance goes a long way with these engines. All right, so it's a pretty simple job. All you'll really need as far as parts is one crush washer, and these are the exact same crush washers you use for an oil change, and the actual valve itself. You can run down to your parts store and buy a PCV valve. I do recommend just buying the Honda part. They've conveniently covered up the part number, but I will leave it down in the description below. I'll also leave a description where you can buy everything you need to do this process online to make it very easy. If you buy the genuine Honda part online, it is just as cheap, if not cheaper, than going to the local parts store and buying an aftermarket valve with questionable quality versus one like this that is made in Japan. So here's what the new one looks like. You can see it just threads in to the block, into the cylinder head, and a good PCV valve, you should hear it rattle. So when we take the old one out, we'll go ahead and check the condition on it. So it just threads in, and there's a hose that is clamped on to the top here that we have to remove. That's all we have to remove to get access to this. All right, so all we really need is a 17 mil deep socket and basically a pair of needle nose pliers. So I kind of gotta get this, they've got the hose rotated the wrong way. So the most challenging part is going to be just breaking that free. You can see I kind of was able to just spin it around with my finger there. The pliers on. Okay, and then we'll just pull it off. Get out of the way. Take our 17 mil socket, put it on here. Just gonna use a little breaker bar just to crack it free. Okay. Once it's cracked free, it should just turn out by hand. I'm just gonna place a paper towel right here in case a little bit of residual oil comes out. Make sure you get the crush washer off with it. Okay, so here's our old valve. So this one was still in good condition. Appears to be working good. It doesn't look too bad. But better safe than sorry. Like I said, it's much easier to do the preventative maintenance now than it is to have a problem later. All right, got our new crush washer placed on the valve. We're going to go ahead and spin it in here. And the torque spec for this is 33 foot-pounds. So it's similar to a oil drain plug, which is, you don't want to crank the heck out of it. Definitely don't use that breaker bar to tighten this. We're just going to basically get it to where it's tight and then just a little bit. All right. Just want to make sure that crush washer deforms just enough. Get our hose put back on the right orientation, and we're going to make life easier on us this time around. Alright, so we've got that, and that is all there is to it. Basically, we're just going to start the vehicle, make sure there's no weird sounds. That is all there is to replacing the PCV valve on your 4th gen CRV. Again, there'll be a link in the description below where you can buy the genuine Honda PCV valve and some crush washers if you need them. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. If you like the video and subscribe, it really does help me out. Till next time, we'll see you later.